In the first of a 2-signing day, the San Francisco 49ers find a hidden gem. I mean, this guy is the kind of guy you're going to want to root for. The story is incredible, and everybody's down on this guy, but I think that there's a ton of upside. I'm excited to tell you about him. Everything from this guy's story to the hurdles that he jumped, the challenges that he's faced, the glowing reports that he's gotten from NFL scouts. It has me super optimistic for this guy's future and the future of the San Francisco 49ers. If you're new here, I'm Nate, born and raised in California. All of my San Francisco 49ers friends are back home in California. So I'm here talking to you because I can't talk to them. And if this is what you're looking for, if Niners Talk is what you're interested in, subscribe because that's what I'll be doing. Hey, quick question of the day. In the comment section, let me know how you feel about the news that dropped this morning about the season opener at home against Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. Are you feeling optimistic about it? Are you feeling this is a guaranteed win? What are your odds on this? Do you feel like it's a 60-40, 70-30? I would love to know how you're feeling about the Jets game. My initial thought, of course, is, Robert Saleh, he knows how this offense schemes and plays. He's going to be tough to play against. But then at the same time, both teams have just as much time to prepare for the game as everybody else. And so I'm overall optimistic. I'm a little bit nervous, but I just think the weapons that the 49ers have, and I think their defense will still be more stout than the New York Jets. So I'm feeling optimistic about it. That's my personal opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Well, the San Francisco 49ers are not resting on their laurels, and they invited a defensive tackle, edge rusher kind of guy, but also well-rounded potential nickel cornerback. We'll talk about that later. Shaquille Brown to try out during the rookie minicamp. That's pretty common. That's not an unusual thing. There was a little bit of space left in the 90-man roster thanks to some recent cuts and then some cuts that we found out about later today as well, that the 49ers could give this guy a look, and apparently they liked what they saw. You can be down, by the way, on the 90-man roster. You can be down on the depth, whatever you want. But these guys do play an important role, especially in training camp. Most importantly in training camp. But then the practice squad itself also plays an important role during the season. So although the 90-man roster at this point in the season is it's filled with a bunch of guys that aren't going to play in red and gold in reality, it's still really important. And some of these guys, these are the guys you want to be looking out for, the stories that follow them. This guy, okay. So the great thing about this pickup, right? If you're putting any personality on the practice squad, if you're putting any personality out there who has not made the team yet, this is the guy. Okay, here's his story. He starts off, he's playing high school. He letters in high school, football, I think basketball too, if I remember correctly. And then he goes and plays community college football because that's all he can pull off. He plays a couple different community colleges, gets picked up by Troy, plays there for a couple seasons, not starting, just a guy, just a depth guy, right? Eventually, his final season gets a handful of starts and just sneaks his way, undrafted free agent, onto the Titans roster. And at the Titans roster, doesn't even get a chance to play in a real game because he gets injured during preseason. And that's his story so far until San Francisco 49ers give him a call and say, hey, will you come try out at our rookie minicamp? We'd love to see what you got. He goes out there, they like what they see, and now he's on the 90-man, and he's got his shot in the NFL. And this is the kind of guy, this is the storyline that I'm talking about. These are the dogs that are in there in your 90-man that you want, that are just driving. They've been up against it every single step of their career, from community college to not starting to playing. It reminds me, honestly, of Isaac Guerrero, who is super surprising when you think about what he's gone up against. I think he started one game in all of his college career. He started one game as a running back. He was always RB2 or RB3. He was always depth guy, and he played a role at times, but he was not the number one guy. And to have that guy get drafted in the 4th round, I think it was like 139 overall or something like that. That is a special personality that guy is going to bring onto your team, a guy that has been up against it his whole career. I love when these guys end up on the roster, and I love following these storylines. They make the best stories, don't they? Well, listen to what scouts said about this individual. I just realized I don't have it up. Hold on, give me 1 second here. I got it. There we go. Look at what the scouts said about, I already forgot his name. What's wrong with me? Geez Louise. Shaquille Brown. Thank you. Goodness gracious. Athletic and instinctive, Brown offers inside, outside cornerback skill and experience. He plays the game like an angry hornet with a relentless, edgy play demeanor. Who does that sound like to you? That sounds like the type of player that's going to end up on the 49ers defense, if you know what I mean. Brown plays with an ideal eye balance and field awareness that complements his short area twitch and anticipatory skills to challenge throws. He has the strength, athleticism, and football intelligence to play any coverage technique and often traveled with the opponent's best wideout. Brown plays the competitive spirit and talent to leave an imprint on the game as a starting nickel with CB2 potential. That is really interesting because of how the 49ers like to scheme. On the strengths, by the way, there were some interesting ones. Ability and experience to play a variety of schemes and techniques. Above average strength for his size from press. Also, I forgot to put his stats up, but impressive on the bench pressing there too. Mirrors release and maintains balance through press opening. Elite instincts and true detective in space with 7 interceptions in 26 games. Stare down passers, find him flying into their passing lanes. Trust his technique with few wasted steps on the ball. Bounces off the ground, increasing his size on 50-50 balls. Stop-start quickness, his phase-altering route speed. I mean, this guy, dude, this guy's exciting. This is the kind of guy that you want to be hearing about. I do have his stats there for you because I said I'd pull those up. There's his pro day results, which of course was now over a year ago. But you know, not like completely blow your mind impressive, but solid results for sure. And in addition to that, the 49ers also picked up somebody else, which we'll probably have to talk about in another video, but I do want to just mention because we're recording today, we got to post today, you got to make sure you don't miss anything here. 49ers on Tuesday announced a handful of roster moves. Of course, Shaquille Brown we just talked about, but they also signed offensive lineman Chris Hubbard. In a corresponding move, they waived Ernest Brown and Corey Luciano. So they dropped so Hubbard has a real chance to be San Francisco's starting right tackle. The 10-year NFL veteran held down that job with the Titans last season before a triceps injury landed him on IR. That means that this is a great pickup for the 49ers, in my opinion. Before the injury, he did a nice job for Tennessee, earning a 69 overall grade from the Pro Football Focus. Brown allowed 18 pressures and 4 sacks and 292 pass blocking snaps. He figures to be in the mix alongside McKivitz and Parker for the starting right tackle job. The big thing about that, by the way, well, let me finish this and I'll talk about the big thing. And if Hubbard picks up where he left off last year, he could be their best option at the spot. The 10 NFL seasons Hubbard has spent time with the Steelers, Browns, and Titans. 58 starts in 94 games. So this guy's been around the horn a few times, if you get what I mean. But what I love about this the most is the pressure this is going to put on McKivitz. A lot of people, some analysts out there think that McKivitz is just the type of guy, you just got to keep giving him a little more time and he's going to get there. And he had some good moments. He had some good games last season. But I think the pressure, and this is what training camp is all about. It brings out that pressure on these players because they know there's another guy who's ready to take their spot on the roster. And having a 10-year veteran sitting behind you that was starting outside of an injury last season is definitely going to put the fire on you to keep bringing it hard every single day. And that's the kind of pressure we want. If McKivitz gets the starting role, we want to make sure he's getting the starting role over other guys that are quality players that have NFL experience. So I'll have to do a whole video on that if we have time after the schedule release and all that good stuff, because man, I'm really up on that signing as well. So all sorts of fantastic positive news coming out of 49ers territory right now. I'm really excited about it, as I always am. I am a bit of an endless optimist, I'll be honest with you, but I can be real sometimes when necessary, for sure. But right now, I'm just feeling pumped about it. So as always, what a time to be alive.